Guess what?
What?
You ready?
No.
It's gonna blow This is gonna blow everyone's minds.
Okay.
Chrono Cross, the classic Super Nintendo RPG, is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Everybody, welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. How you doing, Kyle?
Good. I don't know. I've noticed like this is just a thing I do a lot. I just like bob my head like this. I just really recently picked up on that. So yeah, I'm sure you guys have all noticed that.
I do this a lot, and then you've got your head bob. So it's like we each have our own thing. Yeah, I'm just going to do this while you head bob. And it's like we're choreographing like I don't know, a rhythmic dance or something like that. It's very interesting. But
I can vibe with that. Yeah, but I'm doing okay. How about you?
Doing great. You know, another week. You know, we're getting deeper into the month of February. And by deeper I mean like we're only like 2 weeks into February, but you know, still the same thing. But yeah. We're back for another super episode, and the reason why I say super segue attempt is this.
Hopefully, Man of Steel 2 will be released. Oh no, sorry. What were we gonna say?
Anyway,
I want another Superman movie. Who doesn't?
This Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah,
that's right, folks. The big game is here. In just a couple days from now, this Sunday, Super Bowl number 56, featuring the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I mean, it's a game. I mean, let's put it that way. I mean, and it was interesting. Sorry, I can't speak words tonight, apparently. Anyway, no, it was interesting because I was sort of saying to Kyle and we sort of have been thinking over the last couple of weeks that this is the first time in 5 Super Bowls that we really don't have like a true rooting interest in the game. Because like for 3 years in a row we had the Patriots in it, and then Super Bowl 54 2 years ago, we had Jimmy Garoppolo, former Patriots quarterback for the 49ers. And then obviously last year, Tom Brady was in the Super Bowl. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where, you know, the Super Bowl is always fun to watch, don't get me wrong, no matter who's playing in it. But it's just like, you don't have that, like, emotional interest in the game, which actually can be sort of a blessing as well in a sense, because then you don't have to be like stressed out about the game. You can just like enjoy for the sake of enjoying a football game, which is not the worst thing in the world.
That's a good point too. Yeah, just kind of seeing how it plays out.
Yeah, to see how it plays out, and whoever wins, whoever loses, doesn't really matter.
Yep.
But what we wanted to do tonight is sort of do our official, like we do every year, On a Couch Talking Sports Super Bowl preview episode, and you know, just sort of discuss the games, what we're looking forward to, what we're looking for, and even at the end maybe give some predictions for the big game itself. So Kyle, I guess the first question I want to ask is sort of a more general question, is just when you look at this game, you know, and again, it's not one of those matchups you look at and it's like the marqueeness of the matchup doesn't really stand out because it's, you know, listen, it's 2 number 4 seeds. It's the Rams and it's the Bengals. It's 2 teams that, except for during the playoffs, we really don't watch or follow all that much. But I will say that both these teams have had tremendous runs to get here to the Super Bowl, obviously.
True.
Including, you know, the Bengals upsetting the Kansas City Chiefs, which I don't know if a lot of people saw that coming. I know I certainly didn't, based on my predictions for the playoffs at the beginning of the playoffs on this very show. But I just wanted to sort of, when you think about this game, just in general, or even just you can even sort of do more like the Super Bowl in general if you want to. What sort of thoughts, feelings come to mind? Just when you what thoughts and feelings come to mind? I guess is sort of the perfect way to phrase the question.
I mean, I don't really know much about both those teams to be completely transparent. So yeah, I mean, I really don't know what to kind of expect. I don't really. I mean, the only thing I knew about the Rams for a while is that they had one of my favorite fantasy picks, Todd Gurley, but from what I recall, he's not there anymore.
Correct.
So I have even less reason now to care about the Rams. So I really don't really have much of a leg up on this one. I mean, the Rams, I feel like were always kind of like, I feel like between the two, to me, they always seemed like the more of the I guess you could say like what do you call it? Or I'll put it this way: the Bengals seem more like the underdogs. We'll put it this way. So
yeah, no, definitely. The Bengals are definitely the underdogs in this game, and it's kind of interesting, Kyle. One of the storylines of this game, and I want to get sort of your reaction to this, is that for the second year in a row, the Super Bowl will be played in one of the participating team stadiums.
cool.
Last year was the Buccaneers playing the game in Tampa, and this year is the Rams playing the game in LA.
Oh, cool! All right.
So
cool. At least they got secured for good weather there. So
yeah, seriously. But I was just kind of curious your thoughts on a team playing the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
That's pretty wild. I mean, hey, good for them.
It had never happened, by the way, up until last year. Now it's happened 2 years in a row.
Wow. I know you're right. You're right. Usually it's like some random stadium. Like they don't really. But no, hey, let's good. Let's keep the streak going. It makes it more fun that way, and and then it makes it easier for the fans too, because then they can. I feel like you get like a better turnout because then all the hardcore Rams fans, of course, they're gonna go. So
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Definitely don't have to commute. Don't have to spend money on plane travel to get to that particular Super Bowl. So it's definitely save some money there if you can afford tickets to get into the Super Bowl.
True.
Which, by the way, actually that's kind of a curious. That's kind of you bring up a curious point. I don't know if we've done this in past years, but actually, since we really don't have like any sort of team-based thoughts to do. That's one thing I did want to kind of. Look up while we have a moment here, and that is how much. I'm gonna play a little guessing game with you here, Kyle.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
I'm gonna have you guys. I'm gonna look it up right now. Hold on, give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, there we go. All right, hold on.
Well, I'll start thinking while you do that. So
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to.
I promise I'm not looking at Robbie's phone. What?
All right, so here is the deal. I would like you to tell me. I'm trying. All right, there we go. Sorry, I had to look up the right settings so that I didn't give you the wrong answer. All right. Kyle, your question is, I'm sure you know where I'm going with this question already. For one Super Bowl ticket, what is the cheapest price on StubHub for, like I said, for one Super Bowl ticket?
It's funny.
And I'll even if you want to give me like, I'm trying to think how to have you do this. It could be kind of hard to guess like the exact price. So even if you want to like give me like, here's what I'll do.
Okay.
I'll give you a $500 range. You have to try to
like
guess
a ballpark
within.
figure.
Yeah, you have to guess within $500, either above or below. So it's really a $1,000 range. So like you have $500 that you can get in that range, either below or above or right on, whatever,
So we know it's not below 500 in that case. So we already know we're going to be in for a lot of money.
Yeah, I'll give you a $500 range, yeah.
it's funny because I know I had this conversation with some of my coworkers, and I think we talked about some of the prices, and I'm trying to remember. I can't exactly remember what they were to the T, but I'm just gonna guess. I want to say there may be about like the cheapest ticket would be maybe I'll say like 1,500, give or take.
You are well off, my friend, even from that $500 range. The cheapest price again, this is on StubHub for one Super Bowl ticket for Sunday. $3,749.99.
Okay, so take my answer and
double it.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, look, I get it. I understand you're paying for, the game and obviously the concert and basically all the other bells and whistles with it, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah. $3,000 for a single ticket just to get into the stadium. And that's like in the upper deck, like 16 rows up. Like, that's not even like the premium seats. Like, I saw a ticket that was like literally like over $100,000 for like one seat down like in the premium levels.
$100,000? I don't think I do that. Oh my god. Jeez.
Kyle's having a moment.
I don't even have anywhere close to that in my bank account. Jesus Christ.
Nope, neither do I. So good. I don't even know if you and I's bank accounts combined might not
even
equal
probably not.
$100,000.
Probably not. Jeez. 100. Where do you get that kind of money that you just like throw away for a game? Like, it has to be one hell of an experience if you're gonna go do something like that. Like, just
people. Hey, when people got money, they tend to throw it around on crazy things. But for me, I'm okay just watching it for free in the comfort of my own home. I mean,
because then if I get bored with it, I can just go play some video games.
Yeah. Woohoo! But yeah, no, it's exactly. But yeah, $3,000 just to get into the Super Bowl. That is wild.
Yeah, still no,
thank you.
But also no, that's.
And that's not even including like for us, like we'd have to pay for airfare to get out there. We have to pay like and that's like not even including like food, drink.
Oh my god, they probably like hike up the prices
parking,
for that too.
Everything. Like you literally.
No.
You're basically spending like a 2-month salary on like if even more probably on all the entire experience when all is said and done. But hey, listen, if you are lucky enough to be able to get tickets for the Super Bowl, more power to you. I mean, hey, listen, it's always an amazing experience to end like a pro sport championship game, no matter what the sport. So, like I said, just you do you. If you're lucky enough to be able to attend the big game, as they call it. But Cal, I mean, you and I obviously we like watching the game itself, but you and I also, as we've talked about in past years, like the entertainment value of watching the Super Bowl on TV, all the bells and whistles that go into the entertainment value of the game itself, and the production and like sort of the in between whistles and quarters stuff, all the bells and whistles, whatever you want to call it. But what I wanted to ask you, sort of, what are some of the things that you, maybe not even like this year specifically, but just in general, what are some of the things that you look forward to when it comes to the non-football aspects of watching the Super Bowl? The entertainment aspects, as it would be.
I mean, personally, I'm always intrigued about the halftime show. I always want to see who's performing. And do you remember who is performing this year?
This year it is Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, and there's a few. Hold on, I got to do a little in-show research here.
So basically, I'm gonna be 100% there for that. Done.
I don't want to get the information wrong. Okay. The Super Bowl.
You already had me at like.
It's Mary J. Blige with. Ooh. Sorry, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and Snoop Dogg.
I mean, yes to all of it. So just sign me up. I'll do it.
It is sounding like a wicked good halftime show with some very like well, kind of a very interesting array of talent there. I mean, Mary J. Blige to Eminem to Kendrick Lamar, sort of like spanning the generations of hip hop, really. And of course, you can't have a California Super Bowl without Snoop Dogg because he is like California to the limit. So I mean, it's a given that Snoop Dogg will be part of that performance. But I mean, for me, it's like obviously the halftime show is great, but the commercials are also definitely a big reason to watch, and just the intrigue of like what commercials are going to be on like any particular year, like what ad is going to sort of steal the show this particular year. 'Cause, I mean, you've had some wild ones over the years, like just some absolutely outrageous ones, and then you have your basic ones. But then a lot of times, like these companies, like they go all out for some of their Super Bowl ads, and you're just like left like, whoa, like it sticks with you, even if you don't necessarily like the product or buy the product. Like the ad itself, like sticks with you for a long time. Even years later, you still find yourself like, replaying those commercials in your head or like looking them up online.
Yeah, like that one with like the Night of the Roxbury theme where everyone was like bobbing their head and that
Puppy Monkey Baby,
oh my god. Just so you're right, like
the Mr. Clean one where like the guy's like randomly dancing around like provocatively. I mean, again, there's just all these different ones. The Clydesdales for Budweiser, every year,
like the Bud Night and all that stuff.
Yeah, Bud Light. Yeah, the Bud Night one. Yeah, the Bud Night ones were good. I mean, again, the list goes on and on. I mean, there are so many awesome Super Bowl commercials that we have seen throughout the years, and really, it's just you're almost watching the game in a lot of ways just for the commercials, just to see like what the company's elected to, because those ads, I mean, for a 60-second spot, I think some of these companies pay like millions of dollars just for that one ad on that one day. It's just like I said, they go all out. They definitely make the most of their investment there.
Yeah, huge budget, like just all out, and they get a lot of star power. So here's a funny thing, though. I did actually see a few kind of like hints at what they were going to do for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so apparently they're starting to do like now commercial teasers, and which is like what they did one for, apparently they're trying to bring back Dr. Evil, and it's going to be Mike Myers playing him again, so I'm really excited about that.
Of course.
And then Instagram showed because I follow Arnold Schwarzenegger on Instagram, so
it's
Arnold's going to come in as like Thor or something like that, something crazy or something like he's got a commercial lined up. And then my favorite one so far was they had a little, I think it was like a Lay's or something like that, had Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen in a car, and it looks like kind of like a behind the scenes shot, and they're kind of making fun of the fact that they're like looking at each other like, wait, commercials are doing teasers now? Like, when was this thing? Like, I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with especially those three. So, three. I said.
Not one, 3. Not 2, but 3. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, the commercials they're always a hoot and a half, so to speak, and they're always a good time. And I always, like I said, I always just enjoy seeing like what's going to come next in terms of commercials. Like, how can certain companies like outdo themselves from previous Super Bowl commercials? I mean, it's always like, it feels like a competition, like who can have like the best and most like, noticeable Super Bowl commercial, and like, so they definitely go all out, like I was saying. But yeah. So before we get into sort of like, because obviously I would like I do want to kind of try to predict the game as best we can. But the other question I had for you, Kyle, I know we've sort of talked about this in the past, is that I know we didn't really talk about like for this specific episode, but I'm going to sort of put you on the spot here a little bit.
Okay.
If you had...
Oh, excuse me, sorry. You're asking a question?
No, you're all good. If you had to put together your ideal Super Bowl menu in terms of food, like what would be on what would be some of the things that would be on a Kyle Super Bowl food menu?
All right, so it would have to start off with like either. Actually, no. You know what? I'm going to say both. I'm going to say a combination of wings and boneless tenders, and probably with like some buffalo.
Boneless wings or bone-in wings?
Both.
Okay.
I would do like a variety pack because you can. I think you can do that at some of the places. Like we have a place, Wingstop. We'll have to go to that place at some point. They have some of the best bone-in and.
Wait, is there
wings.
Are there Wingstops around here?
Maybe, but there's one near where I live. So.
Oh, I did not know that.
Doing it.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
There you go.
Get a little sidetracked. But yeah, I would probably just like maybe crash into like a wing place, grocery store or something like that. And just grab like a variety pack of like different flavor, like garlic, buffalo, barbecue. Just throw it all in there. Plus, I would definitely get some form of nachos. I would like to try to make them as well. Get some like really good chips, like blue corn or something like that, and just try to like throw them in like the toaster oven, melt some cheese on it, and of course put all the the toppings, the fixings like beans, black beans, scallions, avocado, or technically guacamole. Actually, just throw some guacamole on it. And let's see. Definitely get some beer going. A variety pack is obviously. And yeah, probably like IPAs and also maybe even some little dessert to kind of like near the end. Maybe like one of those. It'd be really good. I think game day kind of like snack or like dessert would be going to Cookie Monster. Or someplace like that, getting like a nice cookie kind of like cake thing. Like I think that would be just. So that's definitely like at least like off the bat like first-hand ideas I would do. How about you?
Those all sound delicious. I mean, I mean, everything you mentioned would probably be on my sort of menu as well, and then like I might add like pizza, some pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza definitely. Mm-hmm. I'm not really a beer or alcohol drinker, so I definitely would go with like more like soda or mm-hmm. lemonade or something like that, something sweet, something that cleanses the palate. Especially if I'm going to be eating like wings and tenders, nachos. So, but yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail right on the head. You also just got me really excited. The funny thing, I've never had a Wingstop. I've always heard about it, and now hearing that like there's one in Medford just got me really excited. So I'm sorry, I had a little bit of a foodgasm right there. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, you kind of just like basically. Whatever Kyle just said is my menu as well. Plus, like I said, some pizza, maybe some mozzarella sticks. Oh,
yeah. You have to have mozz sticks. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's just so much stuff that you can have on Super
Onion
Bowl.
Rings?
Onion rings.
Fries.
Yeah, I mean, curly fries.
Oh, especially curly fries.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not even a question. Not even a question. No, I'm with you. I'm with you 110%. Maybe like even like quesadillas or like fajitas or like
hot dogs and burgers. If you don't want to go with like the classics,
steak tips.
So,
I mean,
definitely steak tips. Actually, I put steak tips even maybe ahead of the burgers and hot dogs.
Oh god, this has turned into like a food episode. Now we just had a dinner and we're now getting hungry again just talking about all this.
It's funny too because I think we actually did.
I'm sure we have. But I just.
But like this is nice because this is kind of like the updated version. So I feel like we have a lot of new ideas with the food and everything. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, also there wasn't really that much to talk about the game itself. So I was trying to sort of find some other things about the game that we could talk about. The game experience, but
break down the whole Super Bowl. There's just the experience.
Yeah, exactly. You got to break down the Super Bowl experience. Yeah. But
good way to do it.
All right, so let's get back in the game as we sort of wrap up our Super Bowl preview here and give our official Super Bowl 56 preview. This is a Super Bowl preview. Predictions. For the big game, again, it is the Bengals and the Rams. The Rams are the favorites by 4.5 points heading into this one.
Okay.
But the Bengals did, pull off, much like the Rams. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Rams had some upsets of their own, including against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, who I picked to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. But, we're not going to really talk about that. But, yeah, I mean, the Bengals, I mean, what a run that they've had. They started out, winning their first playoff game since 1991 at home in the first round. Then they go on to upset the top-seeded Tennessee Titans, followed by the Kansas City Chiefs, as I talked about. And so now they find themselves in the Super Bowl, basically playing with house money at this point. And really, I could see this game going either way, Kyle. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I could see... Yeah. Truly, in the Super Bowl, I could see either team pulling it out. I mean, obviously the Rams are the favorite, but I mean the Bengals have been underdogs basically this entire playoff run, and look what they've been able to do with that status. I mean, they were 7.5 point underdogs against Kansas City 2 weeks ago, and they ended up winning that game just to get here. So I mean, this team is not afraid of anybody, and they don't care if they're the favorites or the underdogs. Mm-hmm. They bring it game in and game out. So
have either team won the Super Bowl before?
I don't know. So here's the thing. I don't know about the Bengals. I know that the Rams. So the yes and no for the Rams, because the last time they won it, they were in St. Louis.
Okay.
But since they moved back to LA, they did. Now they did play the Rams in the Super Bowl back in 2019, but of course they lost to the Patriots.
Right.
In Brady's last Super Bowl here in New England.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they've definitely been the most recent of the two teams. They definitely have made the Super Bowl most recently of the two teams. But I mean, neither of these teams really have a whole plethora of Super Bowl championship success, on either side. So it's definitely going to be like I said, quite a battle there. But let's sort of put it all out there, Kyle. And I will start with you. Who is your official Super Bowl 56 winner? What prediction are you making for the game this coming Sunday?
So I'm gonna have to say, I'll say the Bengals. I just think that they, I don't know. I just think it seems like this is their year. They are the clear underdogs, and I think they'll pull a Cinderella man.
Very good, very good. Listen, I agree with you. I'm going with the Bengals as well. I've been wrong about pretty much every single pick I've made so far in these playoffs. Except, I think the one pick I made that was correct was back in the divisional round. So, I mean, or at least the picks that I've made in a specific group chat that Kyle knows about, I think I've maybe gotten one right. But anyway, I like the Bengals as well. I just like the Cinderella story. And I think, I mean, just given what they have done against... their first three opponents in these playoffs, and given the fact that, like, in none of those games were they favored to win, and just seeing how they sort of took that and ran with it, so to speak, and also just given, like, how well Joe Burrow, their quarterback, has played, and only a second year in the league, period, and, first time ever making the playoffs, let alone making it to a Super Bowl. I mean, listen. The Rams are a tough team. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be right down the wire. I think it's going to be a very exciting Super Bowl to watch, especially if you don't have a horse in the race and you're kind of just along for the enjoying the ride there. But at the end of the day, I like the Bengals. I think that they complete the Cinderella run themselves and walk away with the Lombardi Trophy. And I also, partially because I don't know, I just don't really want to see 2 years in a row the team that is hosting like the Super Bowl in their home stadium win it. Like it would just be kind of like it started kind of a tough trend of like teams playing the Super Bowl at home and winning because the Bucs did it last year. But like I said, I think it's going to be a tough game. But ultimately, I agree with you, Kyle. I like the Bengals. So yeah, that's my prediction as well. So
good stuff.
Again, should be a really good game, and I just very much am looking forward to seeing what happens during the game on Sunday and all the entertainment aspects of it as well. And we definitely, by the way, next week will be coming back with our Super Bowl recap episode.
We'll definitely
all the
reviews.
Be diving into what our thoughts were on the game, and looking forward to that as always.
Yeah. And the commercials and
everything.
As well.
Everything.
We're doing it all.
We always, every year, if you watch the show, we sort of get into everything on these Super Bowl recaps and Super Bowl previews for that matter. Mm-hmm. But we do want to move on to the second half of our episode. And for Robbie's final thought tonight, I'm actually going to turn this into a duo final thought. This is going to be a Robbie Kyle final thought.
Okay.
And I think Kyle knows, if he doesn't already, kind of is going to know where I'm going with this. Because in the Boston area sports landscape, this has been a big couple weeks in terms of retirements of players.
Oh boy.
Obviously, we talked about Tom Brady last week, so we already kind of got into that. But just today, another Boston sports legend. Yes, I do call him a Boston sports legend because he really has had some legendary moments during his career. Has called it quits officially, and that is Tuukka Rask, goaltender for the Bruins. Who, it's interesting, he missed the first half of this season after undergoing hip surgery in the offseason. Came back and played in 4 games, and I guess unfortunately he announced today that due to sort of some setbacks with his injury and just not healing as much as he would like it to, or as quickly as he'd like it to, that he is officially calling it quits, as a member of the Boston Bruins, and from his NHL career in general. And obviously, the reason why I wanted to make this a duo review is I know Tuukka Rask happens to be one of Kyle's favorite players on the Bruins and in professional hockey. So I wanted to get your reaction, actually, Kyle, to start off with when you heard the news that actually kind of broke to you over dinner that Tuukka Rask has decided to hang up the skates and end his career in the NHL as a Bruin.
So I was a little surprised, to be honest. Well, I guess part of me was surprised, part of me wasn't, because when you really think about it, he was on the team for a while, like a really long time, right? Like for maybe 10 years or so.
At least, right? Yeah, at least a decade.
Yeah, and it was just one of those things where I guess just like Tom Brady, it's like I almost thought like these guys were like never going to retire, but no, and I didn't realize. So you guys probably already know I don't follow hockey like really really well, so I wasn't aware of his previous injury, and I had no idea.
Just so you know, his first. Sorry to cut you off for a second, but his first year in the NHL was 2007-08.
There you go. Okay, so that's definitely well over 10 years then.
Yeah.
I had no idea that he was injured and he had gotten hip surgery. That kind of blew my mind when I literally just found out today. But I can understand. It's a lot, from coming from someone who has had an injury as well. I can totally understand why Tuukka Rask is doing that. You don't want to. You don't. Obviously, he loves hockey and he was really great at it, and he really left a lot on the rink and everything. But at the same time, you gotta look out for yourself too. Gotta make sure that, because hockey is a very tough sport, or at least from this, what I've seen, and I can totally understand why. You gotta. Obviously you want to be there for the team, but at the same time you also got to take care of yourself, and you really got to know kind of like your limits. And you know what? I think he did it in a very respectable way. So yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I first of all, I completely agree with you, and second of all, I know. Here's the thing. I know that one thing that when people look back at Tuca's career, they kind of give him a hard time about the fact that he never really won the big game. I mean, he did help lead us to 2 Stanley Cup Finals appearances. Unfortunately, both ended in losses, one to the Blackhawks and one to the Blues. I know a lot of people have been very critical of him over his performances in those big moments, but there were also a lot of big moments that he shined in, and there were a lot of moments that he made big saves or came up in a big way to help get the team just to those levels alone. And I think he really has to be commended for that. And I'm certainly going to miss watching him play. I always enjoyed watching him between the pipes. And, I definitely, I'm sad to see him go. I understand where he's coming from. I mean, obviously, injuries are a fickle thing. And, you never like to, see a player's career ended by an injury. But, it does happen, unfortunately. And I just want to thank Tuca for the many years that he gave to the Bruins, and just congratulate him on the successful career that he did have, one that will definitely go down in Bruins history for sure. I think he will definitely go down as right up there in terms of top Bruins goaltenders of all times when all is said and done. But yeah, Tuukka Rask calling it a career, and just want to wish him nothing but the best in retirement and whatever his future holds. And you will be missed, Tuke. Especially I'll miss when when he's in goal at TD Garden, he makes a big save. Everybody goes Tuke. Always a fun thing to hear / participate in when you're at a Bruins game. So thanks, Tuke, and like I said, best of luck in your future endeavors. So that's thank you. That's the again sort of the duo combo final thought for the evening from my end. So now I turn things over to the good old Suze for another edition of the Suze Reviews. Kyle, take it away.
All right, so this week I'm just going to kind of round off. I know the last several weeks I've done my pretty much like I talked about all the movies and shows that came out in 2021, and and I kind of just want to end on basically the ones that really stuck out to me, the ones that were really my favorite, the ones where, and I might be missing a few here and there, but you know what, these are the ones I really wanted to kind of hone in on. And just kind of, I promise I'm not going to go too far into it. So I was going to start off with Spider-Man, No Way Home. Easily the best superhero movie of the year. The best, I would say, even Spider-Man movie in the past several years. And if you guys want to see a really in-depth review, I've actually, Doug and I have covered basically that whole movie on our other show, Marvel at the Movies. So if you really want to see, us get into what we thought of it, then just definitely check that out. So I mean, I'm going to do a very short review of this as best I can, because I don't want to spoil anything, because this is a movie you need to
no spoilers,
go
Kyle.
into. Yeah.
No spoilers.
Because it's a movie you need to go into without knowing anything, basically, or with knowing very little. And the less you know, I think the better the experience will be. So I'm just going to say this. Tom Holland, I can see why people really love him as Spider-Man. He was fantastic. I think this was the best performance as Spider-Man that he's ever given out of any of the movies, including Avengers and his other 2 Spider-Man movies. This is clearly like the best one that he's done. I feel like they put the most, I feel like they really gave it their all this time. Just like the director, Tom Holland, and the whole cast and crew of it. It's a great movie. It's a great kind of like finale to not just his Spider-Man series, but without it's a great kind of culmination of everything that came before as well. And I think, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you need to see this movie. Trust me, you're gonna love it. It's a great movie. And speaking of movies that are kind of just kind of top things off as well. No Time to Die, which is the new Bond movie that came out. It was supposed to come out actually, I think like 2019, but it kept getting delayed. One because of COVID, and then other because of, I guess, like some there for some production kind of delays or whatever. So that's another one. I can't spoil it too much because there are some really incredible moments and just moments that really will take you by surprise. But I thought it was a great, I think it was the fifth movie in Daniel Craig's series, and it was a great ending. It was a really great kind of culmination of all the other movies that came before. It was, yeah, and what I loved about it, well, actually, no, I'm not gonna bring that up. Sorry, that's kind of a spoiler too. But yeah, just check it out if you like secret agent movies. The action's great. Daniel Craig gives another great performance as James Bond, and it's a good movie. It's very solid. So another one, and this is one that really kind of frustrated me because the Oscar nominees just came out, and this movie didn't even make it in there. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why? Why did you put this movie in there? The French Dispatch. It's a movie that it's basically three short stories, and it's based around this like newspaper. And the newspaper, it's a made up newspaper essentially, based in France, and based in France, I believe. Hold on, I gotta look my source on that one, but yeah, they tell all these like they tell there's like three kind of like self-contained stories, and each story is very interesting, and it does get kind of dark and a bit violent at times, but it's a very good movie. It's Wes Anderson, so if you know his style, he's a very meticulous, like he really lines up all his shots kind of director, but it's really great. It has a great cast. Bill Murray's in it, Frances McDormand, like just really great. Like I love that movie a lot. So definitely check it out. It's got a very quirky vibe to it, but it definitely kind of goes off the rails at times, but in a good way. Like it's just a really solid movie. Definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. Didn't even get nominated. Didn't even get looked at for the Oscars. I couldn't believe it. Like, come on, this is ridiculous. Then this movie, Run. So Run is basically a thriller, and it's basically about a daughter who kind of gets trapped in her own house in a way, and her mother kind of is a little bit of a nut. And the mother is played by Sarah Paulson, and she's basically this like crazy like helicopter mom, but like to the extreme, like even more extreme than your typical helicopter parent. And it turns into kind of a thriller, and the way the events unfold is really cool, and it's a very different type of movie, just within like the setup alone. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really great kind of like thrill ride, and the movie's gonna hook you till the very end. And by the time the movie ends, your jaw's just gonna be hitting the floor. You'll be like, what? Like this is what? And then moving on to Pig, this Nicolas Cage movie that came out recently, and the way the movie was advertised, you think it was like kind of like a John Wick style action movie, but instead of killing John Wick's dog, they take Nicolas Cage's pig, and it's not that movie at all. I just want you guys to know that heading into it. And I think that disappointed some people. They thought it was going to be kind of like more of a ridiculous, over-the-top action movie. It's really not. It's actually a very thought-provoking movie, and it's a movie that pretty much floored me when I saw it, from beginning to end again.
Literally put them right here, like on the floor.
Like, literally. It's a great movie, and one of Nicolas Cage's best performances he's done in a long time. And it really kind of dives into the world of cooking, surprisingly, and there's not really much action in the movie at all. It really follows Nicolas Cage's character, and you find out more about his character, because the whole story is his pig is a truffle hunting pig, and truffles in the cooking world, well, or in the world in general, are very valuable. So it really kind of goes into that kind of like that whole kind of like almost like this world that like people don't really know, that a lot of the general audience doesn't really know about. So I just thought it was a very interesting movie, very different, great story. Yeah, so definitely check that one out. The Little Things, I know people didn't really like it very much. It had Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, and Rami Malek. But I thought it was a very underrated movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really great kind of like detective noir style movie, but with a very interesting twist in it. And you'll find out what I mean by when you watch the movie. So just kind of like that had a lot of really great performances. And Denzel Washington, he's a great actor. Robbie knows, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like he's the GOAT.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nothing much more needs to be said there.
Right. So check it out. Even if you have your discrepant, you're kind of like if you're not really sure about it. I just give it a watch, see what you think, and let me know in the comments and stuff like that. Let us know.
Drop a comment, man. Drop a comment.
And I also like the Suicide Squad, which is kind of a follow-up / reboot to the other Suicide Squad movie, just called Suicide Squad. So there's Suicide Squad that came out in 2016, then The Suicide Squad that came out last year, which is confusing because you think it's the same movie. But it's not. It's about basically a host of supervillains in the DC universe, and it's great. This time I really enjoyed the way they did it. It was directed by James Gunn, who did Guardians of the Galaxy series and Slither and a bunch of other... Oh, and Super as well. He's a great director. This movie is very violent. It's not a superhero movie you want to take your kids to. It's a very violent movie, and only adults should go to this. So don't just because it has Harley Quinn from the Batman series, don't take your kid to it, because this is a hard R. Like it's got everything that your kid does not want to see, or they do not want to show your kid. So yeah, but it's a great movie, great story, puts a lot of heart into it. I also love Nobody, starring the guy from Better Call Saul. I can't remember the actor's name right now. I feel terrible, but that's another great movie, very underrated, kind of like an action movie. That one's a little more like John Wick. Quiet Place 2, great follow-up to the first one. Definitely a very tense-filled horror movie, directed by, once again, Jim from The Office. I'm really bad with names right now, but it is a great movie. Very thrilling. It's got this kind of like alien, sort of like apocalyptic vibe. Candyman's a great horror movie. And just a great follow-up to it's actually technically a sequel, even though it's you think it's the first one, but it's not. But great movie, definitely check it out as well. Great horror movie, and also Those Who Wish Me Dead, just a great forest fire movie. Angelina Jolie's in it, and basically it's her kind of like trying to protect this kid who's getting chased down by these like crazy like sort of mobsters. So it's kind of a little over the top at times, but it's a very fun movie to watch. So there we go.
Very nice, Kyle. Thank you. As always. You take a deep breath. Very well done as always. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, whatever he said, you folks should listen to, because he knows what he's talking about. So
most of the time,
that is going to wrap up this episode of On a Couch Talking Sports. But before we go, and I completely forgot to do this at the beginning of the episode, and I apologize, but I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Zyman Organizing, the sponsor of not only On a Couch Talking Sports, but Marvel at the Movies as well, with Kyle and Doug. New episode coming soon, by the way. Mm-hmm. And also the Sports Splits with Doug and I. Again, new episode coming out later this week. Zyman Organizing, if you need help, organizing your life, a room, a closet, desk, drawer, whatever the case may be, they will come and help you, and they know what they are talking about. Believe me, folks, they are the real deal when it comes to organizing, and you will not regret listening to us and giving them a call or message, or however you decide to get in contact with them. I don't know. It's up to you. But definitely check out Zyman Organizing. As always, very much appreciative of them sponsoring the show. And as always, the link will be in the description. So thank you as always for them. Like I said, I forgot to do it at the beginning, and now better late than never. So that's going to do it for this week's episode of On a Couch Talking Sports. Enjoy the big game on Sunday, everybody, no matter where you're watching, who you're watching, whatever food you're eating. Does not matter. Hope you enjoy what should be another tremendous Super Bowl, Super Bowl 56. And also, we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. As always, we are on YouTube. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And please, drop us a like. Drop us a subscription. Ring the bell. Drop us a comment. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? We want to hear from you. Please, the more views and comments, the better. We certainly would appreciate it. So, that being said, we're going to sign off here. As always, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie. This is a couch. And, like I said, we will see you next time here on a Couch Talking Sports. Bye, everybody.
See, he's already going to pre-order it. He's going out right now to just pre-order that thing. I knew it. Oh.
That felt good.
So you didn't. I'm guessing you didn't pre-order it then.
Pre-order away.